Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a woodcutter who lived with his wife, his mother and father in a little cabin in the woods. They were very poor. Now, many times, the woodcutter and his wife wished for a child, but the years came and the years went and there was no baby. I wish for a child, I wish for a child, I wish for a child of my own, a boy or a girl, girl or a boy, wish for a child of my own. Well, if that wasn't hard enough, the boy's mother had gone blind in her old age. When she was young, she could see as well as you or I, but now all she could do was sit by the fire, rocking in her chair, and she wished for sight. I wish for sight, I wish for sight, I wish for sight for my eyes, so I can see the flowers and the trees. Wish for sight for my eyes. Well, now many times the cupboards were nearly bare. There was hardly enough food to eat. And in the winter they were so cold, they nearly froze from the walls being so thin. And so they wished they had gold to have the things they needed to be happy and free. I wish for gold, I wish for gold, gold for all that we need, so we can be happy and free. I wish for gold, for gold. Now every day the woodcutter would go to the forest. He would cut down the trees and sell them. One day, he was out in the woods and he took a little rest. He sat down and he noticed a little man running from outside from under a log. He was a little fairy man. He was wearing a little hat and a coat. Now, he looked like he was running away from something, so the woodcutter looked around to see what it could be. And there in the sky, he saw a hawk looking for lunch. Now, the woodcutter's mother had talked about the fairies many times, and she liked them very much. And so, to help out the fairy, the woodcutter took a stone and he threw it in the sky, and the bird flew away. He looked down on the ground, and the ferryman said, "Thank you. Today you have saved my life. I would like to give you a present in exchange." And he took out of his pocket the one thing he had to give to the woodcutter and put it in the woodcutter's hand. It was sparkling and glowing. It was a wish. The woodcutter looked up to thank the fairy, and the fairy had disappeared. He began then to imagine all the places the woodcutter could go. With this wish, he could think of all the food he could eat. But then he remembered his family at home, sitting around the table with hardly anything to eat. "I must go home now," he said. And he ran back as fast as he could to the little cabin. He told the family what happened, and it was his wife who said first, "Now, husband, don't you see? Now we can have a baby. Wish for a child, wish for a child, wish for a child of our own, a boy or a girl, girl or a boy, wish for a child of our own." Of course, why hadn't he thought of that in the first place? He was about to make that wish when his mother said, "Now, son, I knew the fairies and they knew me. Why, you wouldn't want me to be blind to the end of my days. It's been years since I've seen the sun rise and the sun set, and I barely remember what you even look like. You must wish for my sight." Wish for sight, wish for sight, wish for sight for my eyes, so I can see the flowers and the trees. Wish for sight for my eyes. Oh, his mother. She'd always been so kind and so loving as he was growing up. Told him wonderful stories, too. He was about to change the wish when his father, who hardly ever said a word, spoke up. "Now, son, many times we are nearly freezing to death. It is so cold in this cabin. And many times we hardly have enough food. We nearly starve to death. You must wish for gold. Wish for gold. Wish for gold. Gold for all that we need. So we can be happy and free. Wish for gold, for gold." Oh, now the woodcutter didn't know what to do. He left the cabin. He went out the door. He walked into the woods as far as he could go. Deeper and deeper he walked. He walked and he walked till it was nighttime, and the stars and the moon came out. He sat down and looked up at the stars and the moon, and then he saw one star fall from the sky, and he knew what his wish would be. He went home as fast as he could go. He called his family around. He said, "I'm ready to make the wish." His wife thought, "Oh, we'll have a baby now." His mother said, "Sure, I'll wish for my sight." And what did the father want? Gold. The wish is this: I wish that my mother could see our baby lying in a cradle of gold. And with that one wish, all their wishes came true. The fairy's gift.